Good morning, I'm Joe Gum. We continue to follow breaking news this morning of that massive sinkhole in Seffner. The house is at 240 Faithway Drive, and a man is trapped inside. Ginger Gadsden is live out on the scene. Been there all morning. Good morning, Ginger.
Good morning, Joe. You know, it has become an increasingly more active scene as the morning wears on. I'm out at 240 Faithway Drive in Seffner, and this is the scene of that massive sinkhole that has opened up underneath this house. The outside, it looks completely fine, but it's what's inside and underneath that you can't see that poses the danger. 6 people just settling in last night, getting ready to go to bed at about 11 o'clock, when all of a sudden they hear what is described as a car crashing into the house. That's what it sounded like. In the end, you have people running out of the house, screaming, trying to get out as that sinkhole is swallowing, literally swallowing the people up inside. 5 of them managed to get out. What we are waiting for now is for authorities to try and locate that 6th person who that sinkhole just sucked right into the abyss last night. And it's been some 10 hours now since we've been searching, or authorities have been searching for him. But it has been a very long 10 hours for the folks in this neighborhood, and especially the relatives of the man who is presumed trapped in that sinkhole. And I want to bring in my colleague Grayson Combe, because he has been on scene all morning long. And Grayson, you know, we don't want to over dramatize what's going on out here, but it really sounds like a horror movie, something that comes out of the dark of night.
It hits you in the gut when you hear and you talk to these family members just how suddenly everything came to pass. When people were sleeping in bed, just a stunning moment for them, no chance to react, and then when they try to react, they're putting their own lives at risk. It was a heroic deputy who managed to even save another person through this. And just a short time ago, we talked to one of the people who was inside watching this all unfold, basically trying frantically to save his brother, and it just tears at you to hear what he had to say. It sounded like a car crash. The floors of 2 bedrooms in this house swallowed in an instant. Jeffrey Bush had been asleep in one of those rooms. His brother Jimmy sprinted in trying to save him.
And all I see was the tops of his bed. I didn't see nothing else. So I jumped in the hole and tried digging him out. And I couldn't get him. All I could hear was, I thought I could hear him screaming for me and hollering for me to help him. I couldn't do nothing.
The hole inside this house kept expanding around him.
Swallowed his whole bed. His dresser, everything in his room was gone. Ain't nothing in his room there at all, no more.
Hillsborough deputy Douglas Duvall burst into the house. He saw Jimmy, the intended rescuer, struggling himself in the sliding sand. Duvall put his own life on the line to pull Jimmy out and keep him from becoming a second victim.
The cop snatched me out of the hole. He told me I couldn't be in there. The hole was still caving in, and I didn't care. I just wanted my brother, man.
This family says it's owned the home since it was built 40 years ago, and they've never seen a single sign of a sinkhole.
He was a good guy, man. He was a hard worker. I'm just sorry to see that he's gone. I just want my brother. That's all I want.
It's so tough to hear that. You can see how this area has just been descended on by engineers with the sun coming up. They are staking out different areas, trying to establish a perimeter. They're going to use techniques to try to figure out the real size of this sinkhole. Again, it's so strange because it's all contained in the house. You don't even see tilting walls or cracks anywhere. It's very surreal, but they tell us that the visible area inside the house is maybe 30 feet across. The sinkhole itself, the shifting sand, goes out, they think, about 100 feet across altogether, maybe 50 feet down or so. It's early estimates. These folks are really going to try and hammer that down and nail that down. It's just so difficult to talk to the family members. You've been talking with them all morning, too.
It really is just gut-wrenching when you talk to them. And just a short while ago, the mother of the man who is still trapped in that sinkhole arrived on scene, and we're respecting her wishes not to be on camera or to even be interviewed, but you could see her offside there. She is just sobbing and miserable, and our hearts are really just hurting for her as well.
And the only thing we know is they've sent listening devices and cameras down into that sinkhole, and since last night at around 11 o'clock, they have not heard any sounds of anyone alive in there.
They are just waiting. It's a waiting game at this point. Thank you, Grayson.